Welcome back to From the Scriptwriter's Table, a presentation by Winding Trails Media for writers who are interested in writing radio dramas. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the first-person singular narration. This video series is not only for writers writing radio dramas or audio dramas, but also, even though radio and audio or audio is a different media, things here can be transferred to all other forms of writing. So today we're going to talk about the first person singular narrator. This actually is a very dangerous type of narrator in the grounds that if your narrator is talking too much in the narration mode of dialogue, and I'm going to give you an example of how, not an example of where it fails, but what I mean by narration mode in a moment. If he's talking too much in that narration mode, he can lose the audience very easily. Sadly, in the 21st century, our attention span is that of squirrel, dog, kite, bird. Okay, I'm being facetious, but really I'm not. And there are so many different choices of other medias for a person to get their quote-unquote entertainment from. They can easily turn on the TV. They can turn on a video game nowadays. A lot of those video games are now stories being told. They can turn on their pad and get into their Kindle or Nook or whatever their favorite e-reader is and read a book. They can read a regular everyday book. They do exist. Ah, yes, the smell. They can turn on an audiobook. Whatever it is that they will turn back to. You've only got a few minutes to get their attention when you write a story, and you've got to keep their attention. So these type of narrators can be dangerous. But with that said, in audio plays or radio plays, there's a flexibility for that character. They can go from being the narrator 1 second to being an actual character in the story the next second. Let me use an example. I'm going to take an example out of the old book, which you've seen me kind of pass around here. I'll slow it down so you can read it. Handbook of Radio Writing by Eric Barnow. This was the Bible back in the day. The books are now out of print. You might be able to find them at a local used bookstore. Order it through a local used bookstore. You can find it, might be able to find it at your library or get it through interlibrary loan. We've been slowly going through this as a way to share how audio plays are put together, even in modern day. So, what I'm going to do to you, or do for you, if yesterday's conversation wasn't funny enough with me trying to perform multiple characters, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm no actor. I don't even pretend to be. But I'm going to give to you a story, very short. Actually, it's not even a full story. It's just a few lines of dialogue in which we have a first-person singular narrator. Now, the characters which I'm going to play are, quote-unquote, your unseen friend. Then we're going to have Geraldine and Carl. I'm also going to give you a piece of how you put music into your story. Now, pause for a second. Go back to some of the previous videos we've done, and remember, there are 3 main tools to writing audio plays: sound effects, music, and narration or dialogue. That's your workhorse, but these other 2 come into play. And I want you to listen for it. The term I will talk about is orchestra. When you hear that, just listen to what I say in that use of that music. Remember, you don't have to write the music for your audio play. That's left up to the producing company to find someone to write that music or obtain the music. Okay. Your unseen friend. Geraldine, Carl, orchestra. I'm just giving you an example of the voices so you can hopefully break between them. Your unseen friend. Tonight's drama is based on a letter that came to me from a young woman who thought happiness was a commodity that could be purchased. Her name, let's say, is Geraldine Manning. I am Geraldine Manning, living in New York City with my husband Carl. Orchestra, in with mood. I'll never forget the evening my husband and I were at home for the first time in our modest little apartment, having just returned from our honeymoon. Isn't it swell, honey? It's wonderful. Our own little place and all to ourselves. Okay, clearly this is old dialogue, 1930s probably, but I'm hoping you get the idea of how the narrator can jump into the story as a character, and a way that you can also use the first person singular narrator as a way of showing the story, and that the narrator doesn't have to do all the description. That can be done by the characters. So with that said, I know this is short, but before we go, I want to go ahead and remind everybody, every month we do at Winding Trails Media have the Script Writers Table. Script Writers Table is completely, totally free to every writer, but seating is limited. Go to www.windingtrailsmedia.com and click on Web Courses for Writers. You'll find the Script Writers Table listed underneath there. It is totally free. Just click on it and register. Also, too, there's once a month, but there's one per month, by the way. We also have a writers workshops or web courses for writers that are given once a month. Click on that if you're interested. We'd love to have you there. Finally, don't forget, find us on Facebook, like us there, sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to our YouTube, or find us on Twitter and Tumblr and stay on top of what's going on. Our first shows will be coming out in August. I wish they were coming out in August. Scratch what I just said. They're coming out in the fall. They won't be coming out in August. We do have 3 scripts already that we've accepted, and we're still looking for more. If you're interested in writing a script, yes, we do pay. Click on at windingtrailsmedia.com, click on script calls, and it'll tell you the information on how to pitch us your script. So with that, have a great day writing. Talk to you tomorrow.